Hi, I'm Streaky. This is Metropolis Mastering. Today I'm going to tell you how to master records loud. That's what we all want to know, isn't it? So how do I make something super loud? So that it's loud but it's not distorted, it's loud so it's not crushed, it's just loud, open sounding. That's really what we're after, so that everybody wants their record louder than somebody else's. So my job is to try and do that, but do it in the nicest way possible. So the way that I've found to do it, and I'm fortunate that I work on analog equipment, but it does work the same with plugins, is that I've found that it's mainly to do with gain structuring through the equipment. So I'll use, say, about 5 different bits of equipment and add, obviously, when I'm adding some EQ, that's adding some level. When I'm adding some compression, I'm putting a bit of gain on it to compensate. So that's adding a bit of level. I've got, I'm going through some other stuff that just adds a little flavour, so it just nudges it up. So all these little gains get me into my A to D converter at a decent enough level. But then I'm using, say, 2 or 3 limiters. So I'm not just using one that's doing a massive amount, because it's just not going to work in the same way. It's not going to sound good. It's pushing one too much. So use one, then another, and then another, and then this whole period of just using little bits of gain structure throughout the process of what you're adding, or and doing, and then also adding some limiting and final compression. That just all builds up. So you've probably got, say, 5 to 8 stages all the way through. So you're adding at each stage, and that sort of builds up to get it as loud as you want to go. Now, I've mentioned in other videos, you want to be going at about RMS -8, really. -6 is pushing it. It's starting to sound a little bit crushed. Anything above is really loud. It depends what sort of music it is. If you're doing electronic music, then you can push it a little bit further, because it allows for it, because there's not as many natural harmonics as you get with instruments. With instruments, they kind of tend to break up and get a bit too crushed. But if you've got electronic stuff, you can kind of push it around a bit. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you get things super loud. But remember to keep it clean and to not have any distortion. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. Please subscribe, wherever that is these days. And see you next time. Bye.